I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We worked for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, cause we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks.
What's up, JFW family? Welcome back to the Channel 23 podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to reach out and touch the fleet, to engage and inform everyone with all things JFW. Good morning, Jim White and Super Dave Weldon.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning, team.
Once upon a time, there was a podcast. No, I'm just kidding. We are short Brother Dave. He is busy doing Yard 23 things this morning. So pretty exciting stuff happening over there, though.
Getting really close to lots of things finishing up.
Nice.
You know, they came in and installed the front door yesterday.
Really?
Yeah,
Cool.
in like
5 minutes.
yeah, it was crazy, Jim. I'm like, wow, how do they do that? And this guy showed up and was looking for Dan over there and goes, hey, can you guys help? And we're like, no, but he thought Dave was Dan.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, he goes, well, I just want to know where to set the door to start the door, inside or outside in the door jamb, and Dan must have helped him. And we left, came back, and the door was up.
Wow.
We're like, wow. And it looks really nice.
Nice. Nice. I had to go over there yesterday to pick a driver up, and I wanted to go in the building so bad. We just didn't have time for that. So
Yeah.
I
I think JR is last I talked to him, he's refusing to go in. He wants it to be a surprise.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's pretty
right?
cool.
Yeah, I've been thinking that too, Jam. I haven't been in since it was only framing.
You and I went over there.
Yes, that was the last time for me as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm sure it's changed a lot.
I can't wait to see that big old American flag we're getting over there.
Yeah, Dan and Dave talked several times about putting it in, and a funny story. So the electricians ordered the lights, and I'm pretty sure they're the outside lights. So they showed up bronze.
Huh.
He sent them back. They repackaged them and put their bronze light with black hardware. He sent them back again. I think they've showed up wrong for the third time. And he's finally called them. He goes, what don't you guys understand about, I don't want bronze. I've never ordered bronze. I've never looked for bronze. I don't want bronze. So anyway, the lights on the outside of the building should have been up a long time ago. One of those lights is to light the flag, Jim. And that's the reason it's not up, because we didn't want to do it without lighting it, right? That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So otherwise it would have been up, Jim. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So patriotic. Makes me want to say the Pledge of
Where is
Allegiance.
the flagpole going to go?
Right in the corner, Dave, on the island as you come in.
By the front parking lot entrance?
Yes,
Where it's all
yeah.
fenced off? Right?
Yeah, Dave. You've been over there and did the CBs. You've seen the
I
new
was
black.
just there on Monday.
Yeah, the new black fence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So just right inside it,
Yeah.
Dave, in the far corner.
Yep.
Yeah. Close enough to lights it, Dave.
Yeah, I think
How's
you should
that?
Put razor sharp knives on each one of those pieces of the black fence.
Right. Yeah. They got to be pretty hard to climb over, though.
I mean, I guess, but boy, these homeless people, they're not going to come from that side. They're going to come from the river.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Where they were lighting the fire on.
Yeah.
Kendrick sent somebody off the property through the river the other day. Shout out to Kendrick.
We chased him across the river. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. They just like jump the wall, Dave. They go that way. They won't go out the driveway.
Yeah, no. Huh?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And I can see them coming in from the very east end, like where the asphalt.
Yes. They
pile.
walk in from there really easily,
Yep, 'cause
Dave.
that's
Yes.
all like hard ground
Yeah.
and trees and everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Surprised we don't see tents down there.
There was one at one point. There isn't one again. So, because they called, I think probably Scooby or one of them, because you call not the game, the parks ranger. And he goes and moves them over there.
Because that's open space right there. Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that. I figured
Yep.
you just call Commerce City cops.
No, and the park rangers or the the park rangers, they're more forceful. They have more power
Huh.
than the police on that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm sure they can arrest you, but they can make you move.
Well, they have guns. I know that.
Right. Right.
I think the quickest thing to make somebody do something is a dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would agree, Jeff, but people do not like a growling dog.
Yeah. Yeah. I know the Commerce City police officer that showed up, and I totally forgot about it, he just asked for Ken and Dale and those guys to start taking pictures of them for identification. That bothers the homeless people when you take a picture.
It does?
Yeah.
God, why would they care?
Yeah.
You know?
Because they know they can be identified then, Dave.
Yeah.
But can they? They don't have ID. They're not
From that photo, that's
registered.
that's what the cop said. They don't carry IDs, but if you give me a photo, I can confront them and go, I have you.
Oh, in person.
This is you. You're trespassing.
Okay, I get it now.
I can't, a lot like you learned his name was Bob and he has no idea, no ID.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
There's countries out there, if you take someone's picture, they feel like you're capturing their soul. They get
really upsetting. Yes. Yeah.
You're right. I read that.
You've stolen their soul or whatever. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. You're right.
Look at it.
Yeah.
They don't take selfies over there.
Yeah. A lot of the American Indians wouldn't let you take their picture because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, speaking of the flags and all that, let's say the pledge.
Absolutely.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Lord Jesus Christ, thank you for this day and the work in front of us. Watch over our drivers, our fleet, and every family connected to us. Keep us mindful, patient, and steady in every decision we make on the road. If it's your will, keep us safe from accidents and harm and bring us home to our families at the end of the day. Be with those who are sick, bring healing, strength, and peace. No matter what comes, teach us to trust you in all things. We give you the glory, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
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 As a reminder, anything and everything you hear on the show today is not the opinion of JFW's. It's just the expressed opinion of the three men in this room. Man, I should look up the guy's name. I want to give him a shout out. He's a real estate agent. He sent me a message. Saw one of our trucks out on the road doing a really good job and wanted to give a shout out, but then also was upset about the disclaimer.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to explain, the disclaimer is just kind of to protect us a little bit from if we get off track.
Right.
Don't sue us,
Yeah.
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 The 4-letter words we'll use sometimes.
He wants our opinion to be the opinion of JFW. So, yeah.
Well, they are, but don't hold them against us.
Forgive me for not remembering your name, and I can't look it up right now, but shout out to you. Thank you for the feedback.
Perfect.
Yep.
Hey, Jam, is it like tomatoes and tomatoes between amen and amen?
Sure.
I mean, have you ever ran across that? Is there a proper way that you've ever heard?
No, either way is fine.
Yeah.
I think it's a regional accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what tomatoes, potatoes.
Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. I think what country says Amin? A-M-I-N? Yeah.
I mean,
So, yeah.
How interesting. Yeah.
It's just agreeing. So, all right. Podcast stats, episode 224. We had 279 downloads. We have had 114.2 thousand total downloads. We are 800 downloads away from a party, and we have 966 followers.
Good stats. That's awesome.
Yep. I reached out to 6 drivers yesterday because we've been doing really good about not having these meetings.
Mm-hmm.
There were 6 people that missed episode 225. They got to complete 226 by the end of the day today, or they're going to be in Tuesday's meeting.
Bummer.
Some of the drivers already reached out and said they got it done. So, yep, trying to give them opportunity and also give us the opportunity to not have a Tuesday morning meeting.
Rattle their cage a little bit, keep them on track.
Just send them a reminder. It's easy to, get out of the flow, I guess. So.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to listen to last week, so you guys, covered it all for us. But I know the week before and, today's stuff, there is so much information on here.
Yeah.
And what was it, 3 weeks ago already when we had Nicole from
Yeah.
Kaiser.
Yeah.
I mean, that was some really good stuff.
Yeah.
And the stuff we'll talk about today, we need you guys to listen because it's a safety meeting. We have so much information, and you really, you can skip the, Pledge of Allegiance, the prayer, these stats, but when we get into meat and potatoes, there's meat and potatoes. They're important.
Right. Yeah.
By the way, Nicole came through for me.
Did she really, Jan? That is fantastic.
She came all the way through.
Wow.
No charge, huh?
They're picking up the whole bill as a sign of good faith.
Oh, fantastic.
And felt like we didn't have enough education on using the plus benefits.
Okay.
She did say they can't do this every
Sure.
single time for every single person.
Sure.
But they're taking care of this bill 100% and then wanted us to make sure we're getting the information out there. Don't do what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Go get your labs and your x-rays and the things done, those routine things that it doesn't matter where they get done. Do them at Kaiser, and then you could go see a specialist. That's the way to do it. So,
I mean, it was such good information, you guys. I mean, it's cleared so much up, and I totally agree with her, Jan. We've been educated now. Now it's time for us to be an advocate for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the education. They helped us out. They stepped up the whole bit.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to write it because I got another shout out here, kind of that I just remembered about stepping up, doing the right thing.
Hey,
yeah,
I like it. Well, I got some big news. Saturday is going to be a life-changing event for me. I'm getting my bees.
Are you really getting your bees? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
it's were they ready, or it's the right time? It's warmer.
They're ready. And I mean, I think this has been the coldest week, like lately.
I guess that's the reason I kind of just thought about asking.
Yeah. I think this is just, we got to get it done, and hopefully it's warm enough. It is warm enough. I don't think I think they want to wait till it doesn't drop down below 40 degrees at night, which Saturday morning is not that great, but the next week is going to be nice.
To be back in the 70s for the high. I don't know about getting below 40. I think we might be.
Yeah, because last Saturday I wanted to go for a bike ride and looked at, and it was 36.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm good.
I'm really.
Second choice, stay in bed.
Yeah, I did pedal my bike inside.
There you go. Yeah, so it's a little bit, not a bummer because I like teaching, but I have a private I got to go teach Saturday. So now it's just like a little bit of stress, but they open at 6. I could be there at 6 to pick up my bees. I'm going to put them in my garage because it's going to be too cold then to move them.
Okay.
And then when I get home from teaching, my mentor is going to meet me at the house, and we'll put them in the hive. So that being said.
So your private lesson, it's not like, today we're going to have guns and bees.
Nope.
Bees and guns.
You could just throw a bee at them and hopefully it'll sting them in the eye. Yeah.
How to maintain composure when you're being stung.
I mean, I just know that's part of my future, getting stung.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And my buddy, he's like, I was talking to him last night. He's like, I got hit 5 times the other day. But when I was with him, he had holes in his pants. So, I mean, that's how the bees were getting in. I'm like, you should probably wear something different.
Right.
Right. So,
you're not allergic, are you, Jim?
We're going to find out. I mean, I don't think I've been stung by a bee since I was a kid, but knock on wood, I'm not allergic to hardly anything.
Well,
except for green mussels.
To the wise, get some
They don't just hand that out.
No, it's a standard allergy medicine.
Benadryl?
Benadryl,
yes, just to have with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the EpiPen.
Jackie got stung. Made sure I gave her 2 Benadryl, and they told me I saved her life.
But she carries an EpiPen, though, doesn't she?
She does now, yeah.
Does she have an extra one?
You get 2.
Oh, sweet.
When you have to order new ones every year. And
do they expire?
2. They do.
I'll take the expired ones.
I was going to say.
They're probably still good.
I could shake them up and mix the stuff back together and go for it.
The thing with the EpiPens, because when I was in EMT school, there's a certain way to use them. And like instinctively, you want to put your thumb on the top of something when you jab it. But if you have it backwards, you're going to stab your thumb with the needle.
Oh,
it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
So you hit it with the butt end and run it right in your thumb.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
That sucks.
Not only, and if you're applying it to somebody else, not only did you just stab yourself, but you don't have any.
You're not saving their life.
Yeah.
That would suck. It sounds like something I'd do because you're pumped up.
Yeah.
Wow, adrenaline's going. Ah.
Definitely off in the weeds here. I'm a realist back
I really hope you're not allergic, Jim.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. If I am, we'll call the ambulance, and then I'll get my EpiPen. I mean, it's okay. We'll be all right. We're gonna stay in the weeds. What can happen though is the opposite of what you think would happen. Is you get stung once and you're not allergic, and then you get stung, all of a sudden your body develops an allergy to it. That happens to some beekeepers sometimes. And
instead of going the opposite way where you build up
an immune tolerance. Yeah, it could go the opposite way.
I didn't know that, Jim.
Yeah, so there's people that have been keeping bees for years, and that's like their love and their passion, and they gotta like give it up.
Wow, that would suck.
Yeah. So that being said, what do you call a bee that can't make up its mind?
Between thoughts. I don't know.
That's pretty good. How about
confused?
A maybe.
Maybe. That's good.
Yeah, that is a good one.
That's a good dad joke.
Yeah.
And now, why do bees have sticky hair?
Well,
because they
hold the pollen.
Becomes or something.
You're close, because they use a honeycomb.
Honeycomb. Those are good, Jim. That was awesome. Awesome.
All right, who's next?
So I have it's a little racy one, but we'll go for it here. A little girl comes up to her mom and goes, "Hey, can I take our dog Bella for a walk around the block?" Mom says, No, you can't. Bella's in heat. Little girl says, "What does that mean?" Mom goes, "Go ask your dad." So she goes out and finds her dad in the garage and says, "Hey, I wanted to take Bella for a walk, and Mom says the dog's in heat, and to ask you what that means." Dad's like, "It's okay." He takes a little bit of gasoline, wipes it on the back of the dog, says to his little girl, "Just take the dog around the block one time and then come back. Make sure, you keep her on the leash." Little girl leaves, and it's not 5 minutes. The little girl's back without the dog, Bella. And the dad's like, "Man, where's the dog? Where's Bella?" Little girl looks at him and goes, "She ran out of gas really fast, and there's another dog pushing her home."
That's great. I love it.
Well, the weather's been kind of up and down this week. We've had some rain, a little bit of snow Friday. So I have some weather jokes here. And the first one is, whatever happened to the cow that got lifted into the air by the tornado? We've all seen that, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Huh. What happened? Is this a joke, or is it a joke? Yeah. Like we have to come up with like it was moo struck or.
Yeah, exactly. That's not it.
Exactly, but no.
It was ended in utter disaster.
Utter disaster.
Yes.
There you go.
And why did the woman go outside in the rain with her purse open?
Oh, to catch the raindrops.
Yeah.
Really close, Jam. She expected change in the weather.
That wasn't close at all. Huh.
And then what's the difference between weather and climate?
Weather and climate.
Whether or not you could climb it?
This one's silly. This one's a kid's joke. You can't weather a tree, but you can climb it.
Nice.
Oh,
there
good
you
stuff.
Go. Bada boom.
All right, moving on to celebrations. We got no birthdays or family birthday celebrations, but we do have some anniversaries. Landon Giovannini, he hit 1 year yesterday. He's one of our Wash Bay techs. And
congratulations.
Yeah. Make sure you show Landon some love. Those guys don't get a lot of recognition over there. So.
Yep, absolutely.
And then Sergio, my best friend forever, Cortez, hits 2 years today.
When you were out of the room, Dave, I told Dave that I can't believe Sergio is here 2 years. I mean, time is just,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it blows me away. It's something I have trouble comprehending anymore.
It's because you're getting old.
I was going to say, we just get old really fast now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Jim.
I mean, the only way to describe it is being a kid and you have a summer you're on summer vacation and it's forever.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like every season's just a flash in the pan and, another year at JFW and another birthday.
Yeah. That, I know I've mentioned it on there, but that one guy said, hey, I have an answer. The reason time goes by so fast is like you just described, Jim. When you're a little kid, you get 90% in front of you. So it's just dragging. Now we only have 20% in front of us, and it's just clicking off. We can't stop it.
It's very encouraging.
Yeah. It took forever to get through high school.
Mm-hmm.
And now 4 years is like, oh my God.
That'll be tomorrow.
Yeah. How long did it take your kids to get through high school? Like,
nothing for them. Right. Yeah. I had, running through TikTok, it showed that if you can, stand on one leg with, standing on one leg in front of you, and you can stand there and balance for 10 seconds. It was, if you can't, you have 84% less chance or more chance. Anyway, you're not going to live but 10 more years,
Huh.
So I'm in the front room holding my leg up, counting to 10. And Holly's like, what are you doing? I'm like,
see how long I'm living.
You got me for 10 more years, Holly.
Internet BS right there. I'll tell you.
I'm like,
speaking of you and your legs, I try to use you as encouragement for my buddy Corey in Massachusetts. He just had a knee replacement, and he's just going through it. We're supposed to talk on Sunday. He's like, oh, I can't talk. I'm in so much pain. This is brutal, this and that. So finally, I was like, hey, I don't know if this will be encouraging for you or not, but, one of the owners of JFW, a friend of mine, had needed both knees done. He got the first one done and was considering not doing the second one because it was so painful. I said, but then the pain goes away and he got the second one done. It's worth it. He's like, man, I really needed to hear that because, I'm feeling like this was the wrong decision. I was like, no, you made the right decision. I said, I will say when he got the second knee done, he complained just as much.
Yeah,
it was worse, wasn't it?
I think so, Dave. Yeah, I think there was, because you remember it all comes back, I guess, Dave, is what I'd say. But how many weeks is he in, Jim?
3, maybe.
Yeah, because it is a hard 6 to 9, Jim.
Okay.
To me, before you get really relief, and that's off the drugs before then,
right?
And you can still take some drugs to help with it, and then just trying to take the aspirin. But it's the wearing on you pain. And right. I don't know.
The mental toughness.
Yeah. And I don't know if he's describing that as, we all have things hurt, but when it wears on you, right. That to me, that's a different hurt.
Yeah.
So you get that chronic back pain or your elbow pain, and you gotta be tough. Yeah. And he's got to, I hope to hell he's doing the exercises, Jim.
I'll have to find out.
I mean, he's got to do the PT, and I know it sucks, but he's got to get that leg bending,
Yeah.
And I think because I'm just, so I'm 4 months in on the second one. In June, I'll be a year with the first one, and the first one is just now where I don't really notice it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So 9 months, basically. Yeah, Dave, and then not pain, you guys. And the knee pain that you get it done to get rid of, that's gone.
Right.
It's the numbness, it's the healing,
the nerve pain.
Yeah, all that. Well, yeah, that's just.
Well, I'm glad you were able to hold your legs up for 10 seconds.
Right, one leg, yeah.
Yeah, because if you didn't get that, then maybe it wasn't worth it.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
you can't do it. Yeah.
At least you know you'll have 10 years of pain-free knees.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm good for 10 more years. I warned Holly.
Jim, I was thinking about you last weekend, and this is just kind of off the cuff too, but I was thinking about your knees and your back and all that. And I thought, well, I've had eye cancer. I've had stomach cancer. I have the beginning of prostate cancer, but I bet I'll never need new knees because my knees never hurt. Or my hips.
Different battle, right, Dave? And you've stood up through it.
65 years old, but man, my joints are all fine.
Yeah, that is awesome. The thing though, Dave, and I got to commend you, and I know that's not what you're after, is I had a choice. You did not have a choice, Dave. I mean, you got to step up in battle where I'm going to hit you with a hammer and you don't know it's coming.
Right.
At least I can go, Okay, you can hit me or you cannot hit me. But yeah, so I'm proud of you, Dave. That's, to be through all that, all the people with the cancer, because you can't, this is elective.
Yes. Well, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you still got to face it head on, though.
You do.
You can't wimp out.
Yeah.
You've got to accept it and face it and work through it.
Yeah. Speaking of cancer and overcoming and facing it and fighting and all the things that we're talking about, Frank McCoy wants to give a shout out to his wife, Lori. She just had an MRI on Friday and everything was clean. She's now 3 years cancer free.
Oh, man.
And what's his advice? Fight like a girl.
Yeah, because women are badass.
Oh,
I mean, I have sometimes I think the amount of pain they can put up with, they shouldn't be able to do that because they go too long. You know what I mean? Where they should have something fixed, I guess, because they're tough. Women are tough.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Brother Dave wants to give a shout out to Mike Bortz. He gave advice to another driver having mechanical issues and really helped him out. So nice job, Mike.
I'll tell you, Mike is always helping. He's always on that radio, giving advice, giving directions. He trains more people than anybody else. And he always steps up to do that because he's really wanting that person to be successful.
Nice.
And succeed at this job and become good at end dumping and driving and all of that good stuff. So thank you very much for all you do, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. It's tough to be a trainer, to train different personalities,
especially
and people,
when the student doesn't get it.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out a new way to get it through to them and backtrack and a different way to explain, use different words, use a different sequence. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. That, I mean, I know I've told the story that when you used to training a tandem driver, and I said, we need to turn around. We missed our turn. He just stopped in the middle of the road, started turning around, and we had to go back and forth like 15 times, to get to, and I was like,
that wasn't Chuck, was it?
No, it wasn't Chuck. That's a story there, Dave. But yeah. And then, but when we all mention we have to go turn around, we all know we're going to go someplace and turn around. Oh, that's right in the middle of the road.
Well, it was like that one driver, he has mechanical issues at the pit, and we're like, oh, go dump your load and bring it in. And he just dumped it on the side of the road.
There, right. I forgot about that too, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah. The book we should have been writing.
Baby Bennett wants to give a shout out. He says, hey, Jam, I want to make a shout out for the next podcast. Please give a shout out to 0099 Sean. In the accident last Friday that closed 76 down, Sean heard it on the radio and immediately let me know in the CB. So sound like you saved Bennett some time. And then a secondary shout out to 0053 Ryan. Another accident happened that same day on I-25, southbound, where a car got jammed under the guardrail. He was pulled over, and I saw him rushing towards the car and putting surgical gloves on to help anyone in need. Very honorable. Nice job, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty good. He had the thought to put some gloves on. I probably wouldn't have. I would have just run up and
tried to help, Dave.
Yeah.
EMT school, first thing they teach you is you got to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Yep. So
yeah, because it's like kind of like that. I always think of that as the oxygen in the plane.
Yeah, put yours on first.
Put your mask on. You can't help anybody if you're passed out.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that you go help somebody, but if you get a blood-borne pathogen helping them, that sucks.
It's gonna ruin your life.
It's gonna ruin your life
for just trying to help. Yeah. But I don't think that way, Jam, because I just
Well, first you have to be thoughtful enough to have gloves.
Yeah, I think
true. I do not have any in my truck.
Right. I think that was your point, Dave, is he carries gloves. He's thought it out. He's prepared. He's, it's good stuff.
He knew exactly what to do. Let me put my gloves on and go try to help.
Absolutely. I mean, that is fantastic. Yeah.
All right. This next shout out, I needed to confirm before I read it, but when I walked into the podcast room, it was confirmed. So let me pull it up. Let's see here. And this was from Dan Ortega. He says, hey, Jam, not sure if this applies as a shout out, but here it goes. Today, as I was driving eastbound on 56 in Dahlia back to our main yard, I noticed a little yellow warehouse forklift was driving on the road with the sea of cars surrounding him. It was peak 4 o'clock traffic and cars were everywhere. I was amused that I really zoomed in to see who this crazy guy was. No shit, it was Brother Dave. Ha ha ha. And sure as hell, Jim was driving right behind him, escorting him with his flashers on for safety. I'm assuming they were driving a forklift to yard 23, which is no short distance when the machine tops out at 6 miles an hour.
If that.
We thought we were going faster than that.
I say that to say I personally found it reassuring to know that the owners are committed to leading the company from the front. I'm sure they could have delegated this unorthodox task to 2 other guys, but chose to get in on the grunt work. They have some stellar attributes. Keep up the good work, Dave and Jim.
Love it.
Oh,
Love it.
man. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. It's not the smartest thing we've probably ever done, but traffic was bad. It's not like we were holding anybody up, really.
I have to say, this is just like typical stuff for you and Brother Dave.
I have to concur. You guys are always doing stuff. I think it's more fun than anything. You guys enjoy the fun of getting out there and doing stuff like
Right?
that.
But you just got to get it done, Dave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, get it done. Let's get it on. You know?
Huh.
Let's go to the get in the ring.
Any shout outs from you guys?
I joked because I gotta say this, Jim, is the forklift did have really cute red and blue lights on it.
Oh,
And I'm like, we had our red and blue lights on.
emergency
Yeah.
vehicle.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
They're
Danger.
right. Right. So
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
we did, and I did wave to Dan.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Good stuff.
It is good stuff. So, a couple shout outs from me. We probably talked about it before, but Mango Mike, he's the night coolers guy, and he just gets hung out all by himself. Not much backup, not much communication with everybody. He's good about sending his connects and sending the tickets and taking pictures and, loading the guys legal and stuff like that. He tries to do a really good job. And so it's probably been a while. So shout out to you, Mango Mike. Hopefully,
Nice.
well, I'm sure you're listening. You got
He
some time
listens
at
every
night.
week.
So, and,
Yeah.
Jam just verified you're listening. So shout out to you. Keep up the good work. I know we've had, concerns about how you think you need to charge us and how the tickets work and stuff like that, but we'll keep working through that. We'll get through that. And so, great job keeping us going at night when there's nobody else out there. It's like talking on the company radio. We all have people to talk to during the day and you don't really.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, that can's getting emptied.
Yeah. That's it, Jam, all by himself out there.
Yeah.
So that's commendable. So thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. And then the other one, we've talked building the building over there, and we all do it. We all talk about this, but sometimes you have a product, but it's the service that comes with your product that makes all the difference. With JFW, we've talked about it. All we have is a service, and that's the reason we try to have the drivers, no matter how bad the loaders are, or no matter how bad the jump site is, or something like that. You keep you cool. You try to represent us in the best way because we have a service, right? And building the building over there, we've had so many contractors that they have is a service, and we've got some really good people over there working. We've talked about it, Dan and Drew, and the electrician, and Jose, the concrete guy, his crew, and how Jose thinks, man, he's a miracle worker when it comes to forming concrete. I mean, the shit he's got formed at the fuel island, I'm like, I don't even understand how it works, but you stare at it long enough, I'm like, oh, it's going to fill up to concrete to here. He's going to go over here, and it's all tied. So, shout out to all those guys. But where I'm leading is, and most everybody knows it, but the Peterbilts and the Kenworths, are pack car owned. The cabs are the same, you guys. I assume everybody kind of knows that. Our Kenworth cabs and our Pete cabs, that's exactly the same cab, except they have Kenworth and Pete stuff inside them, right? Hoods are different, but cabs are the same. And we probably like the way the Peterbilt looks a little bit more than the Kenworth. But the Kenworth is functional with that, I'm going to call it it's not even a gull wing. I don't know, the bent bumper on the Kenworth, the tanks are a little higher, harder to hit, all that kind of stuff, right? And we're due to order some trucks, and with the building being built over there and stuff, we've just been kind of putting it on the back burner. And Kenworth and Peterbilt have really stayed in contact with us. Both great companies. You know, they have a lot to offer and their service. And Kenworth was by yesterday, and they went above and beyond with their service part of it. And it makes it really hard not to buy a Kenworth. It seals the deal. And I guess I just want, give them a shout out, but also as an example of, when you give this kind of service, it's hard not to use JFW. And it's hard not to use Kenworth because you may not, and I'm just going by looks with their trucks, and it's a good looking truck. We put the visor in the stacks, but it's hard to pass that up when you have this kind of service, when you back it with that, and I think that's important. And for us here at JFW to remember that, along with the shout out to MHC, is all we have is that service. But when you back it, it's hard not to use us. And I think you run into the same thing again. I want to bring up, dealing with the loader when we're just not a problem. And I know they're dickheads, you guys. I get that. I've had them, but to use, jam over here, you get more stuff with honey from bees.
Get more stings.
Yeah. And so please, you guys, try to remember our service. Try to remember to use a little bit of honey. Get out and discuss things face to face with somebody. Take on the guilt. Hey, I screwed up, or I'm new at this, or I wasn't paying attention. You got me. How can I fix this? Or whatever it might be. What's your service going to be? And so, yeah, just, long shout out to MHC, but, turn it into, remember, we just have a service.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to make a shift in your mind to have and even if you're not being completely honest, but hey, you know what? This is probably my fault. How can we fix it? Even when it's probably not your fault. You know what I mean? Getting in that frame of mind is tricky because of what? Pride. Right? We all have pride, and we're proud people, and especially when we're giving a level of service that we already think is pretty dang good, and then something happens, to be able to swallow that pride and be like, hey, you know what? This is probably my fault. How can we fix it? It's a hard thing to do, but it can be done.
It absolutely, Jam. And it's the same when you talk about leadership, and we talk about, getting in the ditch and digging with somebody. We just got the nice shout out from Dan about being in the forklift. But at times too, you have to let other people lead and support. And that's all about pride also. Is how can we're going to get to the same place, but this person really wants to lead. And how can I support them? And it still makes you a leader.
Sure.
But there's that pride thing where I got to do it my way, got to do this, got to, instead of just following. Because the thing is we have so much teamwork here that the goal is not you.
Right.
It's us and the team. And it's tough. It is hard. I totally agree with that, Jam, whether, leading or supporting pride.
Isn't that one of the 7 sins? Pride?
I'm not familiar with the 7 sins.
Yeah. Gluttony.
I just thought it was.
I know there's,
I'd have to Google it, but.
Yeah.
Back to that Jose forming the fuel island area there, Jim. I was looking for a topic for next week, High Road Holland, and it was about craftsmanship and how is technology killing craftsmanship? And I just barely touched on it a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to get, go on with it, but he's a craftsman,
Also, speaking about JFW service, shout out to JFW. I'm looking at the award. If you're not aware, JFW just received the 2026 Commerce City Business on the Move Award just recently. So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
We did, Jim.
Been
That's
on
the
the
reason we are on the move, truly on the move. That's the reason we missed the podcast last week. And it was, from the city's leaders, they were all there, Commerce City councilmen, I guess, and several of the leaders and stuff, the mayor, all that kind of stuff. And they were, no matter how you feel, again, here's an example, how you feel about government, how you feel about taxes, how you feel about different stuff. There's a lot of people trying to do a lot of good things.
Mhm.
And, they recognized us, and, it could have been a time where we could have probably complained, and that was not the place. We needed to be supportive of what a great award it was.
Right.
Not a lot of people, and there was 8 companies recognized for different things. And, there was a business of the year. There was a business on the move. There was, I don't remember what they won, but there was a dog training place over here right off 88th across from the flea market. Been there for a lot of years. And,
Oh, yeah.
they rescue dogs and train dogs. And I'm like, God, how important for people to know that and be recognized for that. And I don't remember, which award. We could look it up, but yeah, there was a lot of awards given out. One for the dentist there, and I didn't get into it, but she's right in Derby, which is the old part of Commerce City there.
That's where Tasty D's is at.
Yep. And she'd lost her husband. She wasn't that old, and her husband ran the dentistry business together. Anyway, she did mention that she lost her husband a few years ago. And you just think on that when you're in your 30s, something happened, and it was probably tragic if you passed away. We expect everybody to live into their 70s. So and she'd won it, she kept the business going, and that must be a lot of strength to do that. Something you've done with your husband in a business and to keep going.
100%.
Yeah.
Any other shout outs, guys? No?
I hope we didn't miss anybody. How's that?
Good. Let's jump into the meat and potatoes, as we call it. We're going to get into the discussion topics. Just for Super Dave and Jim, for you to know that the first one, I'm moving down to the safety topic.
Okay.
So we'll get right into the Wyoming bridge law. Hobie had some questions about the bridge law. He wanted to understand more about, hey, if we're under gross and we're under axle, how are we not able to go through the port in Wyoming? So, Super Dave, you want to speak into that?
Yeah, I mean, I can touch on it. There is a national DOT bridge law that has to do with the gross weight versus the distance between your wheels. And Wyoming, and I swear, Jim, I can touch on this with you, because when I was driving up to Wyoming all those years, I swear it was different. But because I could drive right through the port at 80,000, and they measured me and everything. But anyway, Hobie and everybody else, if you're a certain weight, you have to have a certain amount of distance between your axles. And if you don't have that, which our trailers are only 35 feet long, you can't weigh as much as 80,000 or the 36 on your axles. You have to be a little bit less than that.
Gotcha.
And for us, I think it's, or 78. We want the guys to be about 78, 25.5 tons.
Yeah, or if not a little less, because we make the gross, but we don't make the axle for the inner bridge, Dave.
Right.
And I think that's I don't know when Wyoming started to enforce it. And I know when we've called up there, they have a couple guys enforcing the inner bridge, because what you're talking about mainly is the outer bridge that we do make, but it's the inner bridge. And I know when we went over and over it, where I'm like, I was not understanding, Super Dave, because I'm like, we're making our gross. It's the 78. But when you measure that inner bridge, it knocks our one axle way down. It's not the gross. It's that one axle. And it's only good for, and I'm making this up, you guys, it's only good for 30,000 pounds instead of, our 34 or 36 here in Colorado. And that's what kills us. And that's that distance. And the easiest way to understand it for me, and the reason they created the outer bridge or the inner bridge is, and I know Wyoming's one of the states, it's not the older states. You probably got them back east too, Dave, when you grew up, but a bridge is the reason I call it a bridge law is a real bridge. A bridge over a lake or a creek is only so long, right? Well, if you're too short, all your weight shows up on that bridge at the same time. That's the inner bridge. So let's say if you have a short tractor, your steer axles and your tandems get on that bridge all at the same time. So you got 10,000 and 36,000, let's say, on that. But if you have a long tractor, as your tandems come on, your tires are off the bridge, your front steer tires are off, and you only have 36 instead of 46,000 pounds on a bridge. That's how they're calling it a bridge. And, nobody cares what you have really on the road, but when you go over 270 over Vasquez, or you go, one of the back roads off of Highway 66 or something, or Highway 52, you go over this old bridge that's, it's only rated for 20 tons. Yeah, at a time, not with 80,000 on the whole bridge, right, you guys? So that is the bridge law deal. That's the way I look at it, and the way I understand it after all these years. Yeah. And it's basically just what Wyoming wants to enforce. I do know in a court of law, not to drag this out any longer, I do know we went to court and we were in trouble for the bridge law and the federal bridge law. And the judge asked one of the police officers, because he said he wrote us for the federal bridge law because they did it by length, Super Dave. And the judge asked, can you do the formula for me? I want to understand the formula. And I mean, it's algebra, buddy.
It's complicated.
And the officer couldn't do it. And the judge is like, I just can't enforce this ticket then. If you can't do the formula, besides just, I don't know if it's right, you're just telling me that the guy's only 21 feet. I want to see I want to see the formula. The guy couldn't do it, and they kicked the ticket out.
I love that.
Yeah.
Right?
The DOT web page that you read, it's just this giant chart.
Yeah.
And these guys just look down the chart and they measure you and then look at your weights and then go down the chart and say, oh, you're too short.
Yeah, because they can't do the formula, right?
And here's the thing too, and this is a little bit goofy, but I think that way sometimes. I've been on the George Washington Bridge, which goes across the Hudson River from New York to Connecticut, and it's 2 levels, upper and lower level, and it's been stopped traffic the whole length of the bridge. Cars, trucks, how many gazillions of pounds are on that bridge?
Above your head?
Right? And there is no bridge law. It's just BS, right? The bridge was built in 1930 or something.
Right? Yeah. Right? What was their formula then?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has to do with the amount of weight in the short space.
It does.
Whether you're on a short, tiny bridge going over a little creek, or on the George Washington Bridge, right? So just picture a woman wearing high heels and stepping on your foot with the heel versus her taking that off and stepping on your foot with her foot.
Great example.
Yeah, that is a good example.
Yeah, you're covering that area with more surface, right?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I do know, and it will not happen fast, you guys, but, when we talk about building our own trailer, we will build all 38s, or actually they really want to build a 39 foot trailer, which I'm just like, man, it's just another foot in the air, but we'll teach about landing legs back and how to load and all that kind of stuff. But that'll be a trailer where we just won't have any problems. We can go anywhere with it,
right?
And it can be sold anywhere.
Yeah.
Our trailers are more.
I'll tell you, and too, Jim, you've dumped enough trailers in your time that it's a lot harder to dump. If you're on some, squeegee delivery out in the middle of the field and you have a 38 or 39 footer versus a 35, what a difference. Oh my gosh.
Yep. I mean, when you're carrying that 2x4 and you want to stand it up on its end and it's an 8 footer, that's no problem. You take that 10 footer and you try to stand it up and it's a whole different ball game.
Yep.
And that is no different in a trailers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dave, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
All right. Next on the list, implement the things that you read and confirm on Connect Team. And what I mean by this is Connect Team is our number one source for passing info. Well, I would say the radio may be number one for immediate information, but Connect Team is someplace you could go and reference things, and it's in writing. And we make announcements where we could tell that you've actually viewed and read the announcement. Like if we're having a pit change or, rules of the road at certain pits, or like, for example, this morning, don't park on Highway 66 waiting to get into the Nix plant. We've had a complaint about that. We made an announcement on April 23rd, and we had 2 drivers go up there sitting on the highway this morning. Well, one of the drivers never viewed the announcement, and the other driver confirmed the announcement, right? Read all the announcements and implement what they say. We're not just trying to overwhelm you with announcements. I don't feel like we put announcements out there, just talking about selling our furniture or anything like that. These are things that you need to know about. And when you confirm it, don't just confirm it to clear your cache or clear your Connect team. Confirm it and understand what we're asking. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, we, all these years we tried to do it on the company radio. You try to make the general announcements. So then we added Connect, added something that you can read on your time, read at night, read in the morning before you leave, read before you get loaded or unloaded, right, Jim? It's
go back and read it.
Go back and read it. I mean, it's just a way to make you better. Yeah. That's all there is to it. And we're struggling reading those. So here's the, as any safety meeting would go, here's where we're wanting you to read the bulletins, the safety bulletins that would be posted at any job site.
Right. Yeah. Not a good look, when our customer is asking us to do something, cause I really don't personally, I don't care where you park. Like, it doesn't affect me. Like, I'm not mad that you want to park somewhere that makes sense to you. But when a customer says, hey, we're getting complaints from the neighbors about you guys being up here too early, we can't be here. Like, this is the agreement we made with our municipality, and we're just doing what we want because we're not paying attention. It's not a good look for us. That's the service that Jim was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've ruined it. No way around it. We ruined it. Right?
Yeah.
We ruined that service.
Yeah.
And you can't do it, especially when we talk about it, we announce it and we ask, it's not, there's no get out of jail free card.
What do we tell the customer when they call us later today and say, hey, we've asked you guys not to park here? Are they looking at us like we don't care? Like we're not telling our people, are we not reading our customers' announcement to us or taking it serious, So.
And what, no matter how you look at it, Jim, what do they think of us?
Right.
Are they just don't care? Are they not understanding what I'm asking?
Right.
Is there an educational barrier I'm trying to get through?
Yeah. For me, like if I was in their shoes and just knowing how my brain works, I don't really care. All I know is there's trucks where we ask them not to be.
Yep.
To me, it doesn't matter why your people are doing it. You're not doing what we asked you to do, and that's a problem.
Yeah, respect whether you get down to it or not. Yeah, at one point they're not going to care; they just want it done,
right?
And then we're not doing it, so then there's a loss of respect.
Yeah,
right.
The people are complaining very well could have been in on the meetings to get
zoning
right. Meetings to get the permitting for the gravel pit, and they see that truck and they're like, that's against the rules. They can't be there.
This is why we didn't want this. You see, I told you this was going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and it is a problem. And so we want to continue running gravel out of that pit so we continue work. So we need to follow those rules.
Yep, good deal. All right, this is from JR. The following distance shown on the dash cam is separate from the sensors on the red frame trucks. Just because your gates cluster displays a 2-second following distance doesn't mean that the camera alerts are incorrect. Okay, so 2 different systems. One is the truck, one is the camera. There could be a discrepancy in both of them where they're not 100.0% accurate, right? But at the same time, 2 seconds isn't enough anyway.
I read that, Jam, and I want to ask, where did that come from? Because why is that a concern when 2 seconds aren't enough, Jam?
Well,
how are we concerned about it?
Yeah. So what happens is, just to get into the meat and potatoes, right? You're going to get a Samsara alert at 1.5 seconds for more than 30 seconds. If you're less than 1.5 seconds for more than 30 seconds, you're going to get a following distance alert. What the driver's rebuttal is, well, I was looking down at my instrument cluster and it said I had 2 seconds. That's the argument. But it's not an argument because you need 4 seconds, right? If we could change the Samsara alert to 4 seconds, we would, but we can't. 1.5 seconds is the max that'll let us go. We could change it to less than that, which is crazy. But man, if you're 1.5 seconds less to the vehicle in front of you, it's just too damn close.
Yeah,
and
I'm sorry, Jim,
no, go ahead.
It is 40 miles an hour, right, Jan? So you're not going 20.
Right. You won't get an alert under 40.
Yeah.
Or 45 or whatever it is.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah. If you're 65 and you're less than 1.5 seconds, it may look like a long distance to you, but it's not far enough.
For stopping.
Yeah.
No, and I forgot about that part of the Super Dave, because the comment I was going to make is the 1.5 seconds for more than 30 seconds, but more than 30 seconds or 30 seconds at 60 miles an hour is a long time.
Oh yeah. Quarter mile easy, right?
I mean, it's a big old time to make an adjustment.
Right.
Plenty of time to say, I better get my Jake brakes. Or
at 60 miles an hour,
lanes.
that's a half a mile.
Yeah, Jam, that's a long ways.
Right.
And
JR does continue. He says, it's unclear whether the shop, Kenworth, or Peterbilt handles calibration for that specific sensor. But if the unit has fallen off the windshield or the windshield has been replaced, the calibration may be affected. Stay engaged in alert and periodically verify your following distance by counting it yourself to the vehicle ahead. That's the best way to do it. And listen, I'm not the most perfect driver. I was out Friday. I got what did I get? Harsh braking alert. And it was legit. It cost me 6 points on my score. Not 6 points. Well, 6. Can't remember. It was hefty, but I was coming up hot on the light. It turned red and I slammed on my brakes and I got the alert. So I'm not perfect. But the following distance, I can tell you, that's one of the things I am a little bit better at. And man, 30 seconds to be able to increase your following distance within 30 seconds, it's a long time to fix the mistake as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So when I hear, cars have just cut me off, I don't know where those cars are when I'm driving because they're doing the same thing to me, but you have 30 seconds to create 1.5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy because I'll get cut off. I get off the throttle and I still count 1,001. Oh, I'm 1 second away. 1,000. Oh, I'm 1.5 seconds away. Up now, I'm 2 seconds away. Now, it's really easy to create that distance. And you're going to catch that car at the light, most likely. You'll definitely catch the big truck at the light that cuts you off. So just back off.
Yeah, and the whole anticipation on the harsh braking, Jam, is if you really concentrate on the anticipation, all the harsh braking really goes away.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And I mean, I've always prided myself, for driving, but like in my pickup, where you just anticipate stuff in your pickup because it's so much easier in a car. You could almost not stop. You know what I'm saying? If we're anticipating,
sure.
Yeah, that's the efficiency
vehicle
score on our Samsung.
Yeah. But it's just really easy to do it in a car. You know what I mean? For us, because we know how to do it in a big truck.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Kathy has a couple announcements she wanted to make. I was hoping you could mention on the next podcast to remind the drivers when on ELD, do not clock in to connect. We have had a lot of drivers on ELD this week, and some of them were punching in to connect. That's basically running 2 logbooks. You're either going to be on your hourly connect team time clock, or you're running ELD. If you know the night before that you're going out of town, when you come in the morning, do not punch in. Just use your Samsara to track everything.
Yeah, yes, sir. And it's all, and I've said it. I think I've said it on the podcast. And Kathy's trying to correct it. And, here again, a safety thing, but I'm excited to be, now I can't even think of the word, not inspected, but whenever the DOT comes in here, what's an audit? I'm excited for our next audit because we have everything electronically.
Sure.
It's not like looking through all the paper logs and trying to figure it out. And if we've made a mistake and trying to show them to the DOT and, here's our connect, here's our hours, here's our electronic logs, here's our, our electronic vehicle driving, all our stuff's electronic.
Right.
We can all pull it up, send them a report. We should have no violations. And if we have a violation, we know about it.
Right.
And it's been corrected. And what happened? It should be easy. And we've just made it so we're not violating.
Yeah.
Guys, something's like this. If it's in Connect and in Samsara or ELD, it's a mistake.
Right.
But neither one of them should be illegal.
Right.
Right? That is the point.
Right.
But you can't have two of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited about the EDVIRs. Hopefully that we don't have many of these type accidents, but sometimes we're required to do a preservation of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the preservation of evidence is to pull 30 days of DVIRs. The old way, you got to go in the box and just look
Drag
for 'em.
paper.
Yeah. Yep. And hopefully the driver's name and the truck number's on there and the date. It is very tedious work. The last one I had to do was kind of it was in between. So like we were 2 weeks into like EDVIRs or 3 weeks. And then I had to go find the last week on paper. So we're past that now though. Everything should be on EDVIR. But if you're not doing your EDVIRs, that's not good because now we don't have record of that. So
absolutely. It's a great segue, or I should have tried to remember it. I think Dustin Courier drives 103.
Something like that, yeah.
Yes.
I think 103. So he had a door latch on his passenger door brake, and I think Scooby helped him, and they bungeed it or got it locked or anything like that. And he ran into me and Dave last night, and we're still having some bugs, working out the bugs on how the shop's reading it, how it's being fixed, and the whole bit. But Dustin said, hey, it broke last Friday. I wrote it up, blah, blah, blah. And I wish I probably can look or fast enough, or maybe you can help me, Jam. I know JR can do it quickly, but there's a word. He wrote it up. He put it in there. He was okay to drive the truck, but it says uncompleted or on something. It was in red at the bottom of his post trips and pre trips. It was the last part that the shops never looked at it, done anything with it. But what I'm getting at, and a shout out to Dustin, is he came to us. He said, yeah, they haven't got to this. I don't know what's going on with it. And I'm like, okay, let me check, Dustin, whether not in front of him, but did Dustin write it up? How does it look? How, does the shop know about it? Can they fix it? Our whole thing is it been putting on the board. How do the mechanics know about it? Man, you bring up that DVIR, and there's a picture of the bungee. There's a picture of the door. There's a picture of, I wrote it up last Friday. It shows up Monday, not corrected, Tuesday, not corrected, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, fantastic. So then I go to the next thing. What's the mechanics doing about it? How do they know? And we called Andre last night, and Andre said, we didn't get parts. It was too late at Peterbilt. We're not sure why it's not, whether we need the whole latch or just this piece. And he said, but what we should have done as the mechanics is in process. I think there's a spot they can mark it's in process. So then the driver, and I don't know if that's the correct word, but then the pending, something like that. I should have went through it so I could talk intelligently about it, about the wording. But that, Andre said, if we would have done that, Dustin would have known we're working on it, but how nice that the communication would have all been there if we, the few steps that we followed, instead of going, oh, was it written up on the board? Where's the paper? How was it written up? The whole bit. And, the picture is worth 1,000 words. Here's a bungee.
Holding the door closed.
Holding the door closed, right, Dave? Hey, there's a problem. What do I need to do to fix it? So yeah, shout out to everybody on that. I think this is just better. We're getting better at how we do this. Maybe it's unresolved is how it starts, Jam.
What day was it?
He did it Friday, but it was even on his poster pre-trip for Monday night.
Monday was.
But you scroll down on my phone. You went to the current one, and then that was at the bottom that it was unresolved. I think the word was unresolved.
I think so too. I've seen that on the DVI.
Yeah, and then the mechanics could change it like in process or something.
So I do see resolved. So maybe.
Oh, so it got resolved. Okay.
Well,
probably has by now.
If they
But,
got to it last
yeah.
night. I don't know if they got the parts. But anyway, I just, you know, and any one of us can look at it, and I was like, okay, what's in there? Maybe you know, Dustin didn't write it up correctly or whatever. You know what I mean? Or somebody's working on the tires and it's the steering wheel. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But yeah, definitely good stuff.
Nice. Very good stuff. Also from Kathy, can you remind the drivers to turn in their paperwork every day, including the bulkers? I mean, I can't believe this is on here again. It's...
And shout out to Kathy.
Yeah.
She's a billing machine. She's got this office running. I mean, I know we had another person up here helping and stuff, and Kathy takes it on, and I've asked, you know, Kathy, are you doing all right? And I know she works hard, you know, but she knocks everything out. I've asked Ann and Joanne, and as far as I know, like the big step is to get Monday morning everything collected and billed, because she's not here Saturday, obviously, right?
Right.
You still have the stuff turned in from Friday, because you're not doing your stuff Friday and Saturday. You're not doing our Saturday stuff Saturday, so she's doing all that and getting it together for a week. She's got it knocked out by noon or 1 o'clock on Mondays.
Wow.
And I mean, she's got it down, no mistakes, nothing like that. And
Wow.
man, and when you get somebody working that hard, knocking the stuff out like Kathy's doing, and we don't have guys turning in tickets to make her job easily, you guys suck. I mean, that's all there is to it. That sucks that you got somebody working that hard and you can't help them out by turning your tickets in.
Right.
You know, you guys got to turn the stuff in, man. You got a teammate kicking ass, and you're not passing her the ball.
Why else
run the route and fail?
Why else would a driver want to turn their tickets in? That's how they get
they
paid.
want to get paid, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, we have to bill to get the payroll
Paid, yeah,
Yeah.
completed. And
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah. If you want to work for free, don't turn your tickets in. If you want to get paid, turn them suckers in.
right,
It's a good
Right.
idea.
right. What's that? What is that? That movie? I can't even tell you. Whatever word. Hello, McFly.
Oh.
What's the name?
Back to the Future?
Yeah, Back to the Future. You know,
Yeah.
hello. got the guy knocking on his forehead. So
Yeah.
yeah, we gotta step up, man. Kathy's doing a great job.
Yeah. There's just no excuse for not turning your tickets in.
Yeah.
You know the old saying, the job's not done till the paperwork's complete. Just
Yeah.
yeah, and all you got to do is put them in a box.
It's as important as following distances, as getting your weight correct on the scale. It's part of the job.
Yep.
It's something you have to complete
Yeah,
before you go home every day.
It's as important as this podcast, you guys. We don't take it lightly.
No,
We can't.
no. Yep. Good. Well said. We have new signage on the trailers covering our tailgate valves. What I mean by the tailgate valve, that's a valve you pull to open up the tailgate. You get out of the truck, you pull that knob. Right in front of that knob on most of the trucks, or some of the trucks right now, but too soon to be all of the trailers, I should say, everyone is going to have this signage. You can either move the sign out of the way and pull it, or you could stick your hand underneath. But now you have to do something very intentional to pull that valve. Why do we have that valve? Those signs on there? Well, they say, what do they say? They say, are you dumping do you have the right material? Hold on, I have it right here.
Yeah,
I didn't memorize that
on the picture, Jam.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
And you know, follow up with you while you're looking for the picture, Jam, is no room for error.
Yep.
Yeah, read it, Jam.
The sign says, what material do you have on? Sand, rock, right? Did you load it to correct pit? Meaning, where did you get the sand or the rock? You may have the right material, but you got it at the wrong place. Are you at the correct location? Are you supposed to be a plant 12 or should be a plant 2? Are you dumping the correct bin? Is your tailgate closed and the linkage cammed over? These are all things that we have had to fight to get done. Now it's just all on the sign right where you pull your tailgate valve. It's also on the nose of your trailer.
Yep.
When you're looking at your back window dumping, there's another sign to make sure. There's nothing wrong with seeing that sign and realizing you didn't check and stopping and then going to check. I mean, you may forgot what you loaded.
I mean, I would think it would be absolutely wonderful, Jam, if somebody would go, man, I looked at that sticker and I just realized I loaded at the wrong pit. What do you need me to do?
Right.
That would be wonderful.
Right.
Yeah,
wonderful. Because
Yeah.
you go, Jesus. Okay. No big deal. Who the
Right.
hell cares?
Right.
Yeah, and seeing the sticker on the nose of the trailer, perhaps you see that before you go up 4 stages and dump the whole load in the bin,
Right.
in the wrong bin.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're going to treat it like a connect message that you confirm and don't pay attention to, the sign's not going to mean anything. It's unfortunate, but this sign doesn't prevent you from making a mistake. It helps you. It tries to bring some attention to what you're doing, but you could still make a mistake doing it. The wrong bin, wrong material, wrong pit, wrong plant, all those things are a disqualification from your safety bonus, and we're going to start enforcing that immediately. Message went out last night on Connect team stating the same thing. We just can't afford to keep making this mistake, and sometimes it seems the only thing that makes a difference is money. So we'll hopefully, with your safety bonus being hanging out there for you to do it the right way, you dump in the right place with the right material from the right place, in the right place, all the right things.
100% Jam. And I, gonna throw this out. We've repeated it over and over and over. I wanted to say, Jam, before you said that's a loss of bonus. It is not a loss of bonus. You did not earn that bonus. You didn't read the sign on the front of the trailer. You didn't read the signs on the in front of the dump valve or the tailgate valve, whatever you want to call it. You didn't read your dispatch. You didn't read your connect. You didn't do anything. You did not earn your bonus. We have not taken it from you. It's not a loss. You did not earn it.
Disqualified.
You are disqualified. And the other thing too is just like Jam said, to make things stick, we got to hit you in the pocketbook. Man, we don't want to run our business that way.
No.
But the thing is we have, I'm going to say 99.9% of all the drivers are doing a great job. We don't have this, some of the guys don't even need that sticker. They're just that good. But the thing is we can't hit the gate once. It can't happen. We can't dump the material in the wrong bin, the wrong spot. And we've done it a lot. And our customers come to us and said, what is wrong with you?
That hurts.
They've asked Linda, what is wrong with you guys? What's going on over there at JFW? Well, I'm going to step out on the bridge with my big old short tractor loaded to the fucking gills and fall through the bridge. Because that's what we're doing. We're falling through the bridge because we're not given good service. That's all there is to it, and it falls on you guys.
Yep. Got to pay attention, especially in Fort Lupton. Well, everywhere, but very easy to confuse because this is happening. Ragsdale, LG, Fort Lupton. Don't just assume you're going to one when you should be going to the other. We had that happen yesterday. So,
and I shout out to it not happening as much as maybe it should, but when we were driving a lot, there was like one pit in one location. Everything came out of one pit.
Yeah.
I mean, we change pits and materials like
underwear,
man. It's every day.
Yeah.
So kudos that it's not happening more.
Right.
But we can't let it happen
At all.
Yeah.
I asked Super Dave yesterday. I was like, you ever dump in the wrong place? And he's like, yeah, we all have, back in the day though, we didn't have anything on paper. They would just tell you what to do for the day. Yeah, you're going to run this. And then, it was easy, to run. If there's one place you're getting sand from and you at least picked up sand there and you delivered the sand to the wrong, it was an easy fix. You just fixed it on the next run by bringing material to the right place. It was a little different story, but now with all the reminders and, the tickets and connect and it's just different ballgame.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. It's the big leagues now, I think.
It is the big leagues, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could do that stuff. You can haul out of one location in the minors.
Yep.
Not in the big leagues.
Yep.
You're traveling, you're on the road. You got to remember your glove.
yeah. Imagine showing up without that.
Yep.
All right. Next. Let me fix my heart posture here before I say this. Let me think of a softer way to say it.
How is it? Because I mean I know what you're talking about, Jim, and I'm sure the listeners don't yet. But how do you do this and do the other?
Right. If you feel, well, I'm just going to read what I wrote. Just please receive it in a good place because I'm really saying it from a good place. I just don't know how to say it more politically correct, I guess. Don't complain about not making enough money at JFW if you don't come to work every day. Give yourself a raise and show up. That's the only way I really know how to say it. If you don't feel like you're getting paid enough, but you're not doing your part by coming to work every day, we really can't do anything about that. This job and your pay structure is designed for you to be here every day.
On time.
On time every day. Yep. Giving 100%. You know, you could have a great Monday through Thursday and then you call off on Friday. Now you've been disqualified from your percentage bump for the week. You've just lost a month's earning of PTO. I mean, you're just really shooting yourself in the foot. And then to look outside yourself and be like, oh, I'm not making enough money here because of your actions. It just doesn't sit well with us, on the leadership team who really will do anything to try to help you as make much money as you can. But you got to do your part. You got to be here. If you're not here, you don't get paid. It's as simple as that. You eat what you kill around here. And if you ain't hunting, you don't even have an opportunity to kill anything.
Yeah, Jam, I got to throw out there, and Super Dave and Jam, maybe you can help me out here because I think you guys can stay with me. Why did me and Dave, bottom line, why did me and Dave move the forklift the way we did yesterday?
Bottom line, you saved money.
Exactly, Super Dave. They were going to charge us and it was just down the street. It was going,
but it was more fun.
It was more fun. No, you can't get past that. But we
could save money and have a good time.
Exactly, Jeff. Can't beat that. But it was $800 to $900 to have them move it.
Wow.
Because they got to bring in a truck. They got to do that. We could have moved it. We have the equipment, right? But that's taken a driver out of place. That's taken our low boy and putting it in play. That's taken like Scooby maybe from safety, Ken from safety.
Right.
Not easy to get it up on our low boy because our low boy is not made for equipment that small.
Right.
Wouldn't come up our other trailer that we move stuff on.
The ramps are too steep.
Ramps are too steep. All of these problems, and we mainly did it. Not the fun part. You're right, Super Dave. But the thing is what's the bottom line? What does it do for the rest of us? And that's like showing up, Jam. If you show up every day for work, what can we accomplish?
Right.
And we wanted to show up. We didn't want to ask somebody to do it. We didn't want them to ask them to do it after hours and take away from their personal time. This is something me and Dave could do together to benefit everybody. Everybody. And when you show up every day, you benefit yourself and everybody else. Because we have safety guys driving. We have guys working late trying to do an extra load. We have preloading, covering for people that sometimes seem really just fine the day before and can't make it in the next day.
Yeah.
And I'm whatever you want to call it, and I call you guys old school too, but you got to show up. We show up. We show up because people count on us.
Yeah.
I would love, actually, we have good enough people around us. I probably don't even have to show up all week. But the guilt I would feel, I would be sick by like Tuesday morning, you guys. It would kill me. Because I know you guys can take care of it.
We should try it.
Let's not, Jeff. Seriously, no, because it bugs me so much. I can make myself sick over it. It
means a lot to all of us, not just us, but I mean everybody that works here. Just like Dan Ortega said in his shout out, it means a lot to have the leaders leading the front of the ship.
I appreciate that, Dave. But there's, again, that's what's the bottom line? What are we trying to do with that leadership?
Right.
Keep the boat rolling, keep it moving forward, and when people miss, it's hard, hard on dispatch when they've already done their job. I mean, God, it's just, please show up, schedule it, Jam said it. How is it, Jam? It's coming from a good place in my heart.
Receive it in a good place.
Receive it in a good place, because there is no way in hell we have that much food poisoning.
Oh,
The world would, the food poisoning we have around here, restaurants would be closed.
Yep.
McDonald's would be out of business.
and it's just crazy because usually the most common day for food poisoning is Monday. Sometimes the second runner-up for food poisoning is a Friday. Not too many people are calling out on a Tuesday for food poisoning. It's just not very.
I think we should start a thing where you don't eat Sundays.
I was going to say it's because people go out to eat on the weekend, and it was because Colorado's broke and they discontinued the health department inspections.
Right.
So,
Right.
so everybody's getting food poisoning.
All this raw food.
Here's the thing is, I was a kid once, and the easiest thing to call off about is your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody, oh, I got diarrhea. Well, that's not something you're really going to go to the doctor for. So, like, you get a doctor's note? No, I just stayed home and let it pass, right? And it's not something we're going to ask for proof about, right? It's the easiest thing to call off about. But when you hear that excuse 2 or 3 times a week, every single week because of the amount of drivers we have, I mean, not everybody is sick. I mean, and that's just the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
And then just to this point, this is why our attendance policy is very black and white. It doesn't matter why you call off. If you have unscheduled time off, meaning you didn't put it in and it's not approved, it's unapproved time off, because we don't need to weed through the bullshit. We don't need to decide, okay, does this guy really have food poisoning? Did this person really, stub their toe? Was this person really whatever? It's just black and white, because at the end of the day, it's not worth the emotion and the time and the effort to put in to figure out who's telling the truth and who's not. I mean, it's just, you're not here, it's unapproved, and that costs you, and it sucks.
Yeah, because the start of it, and I probably got off track, Jim, is you can't complain to us about money if not willing to work for it.
Right.
Like you said, you got to go kill something.
Yeah. Man, imagine I take my time off in November to go hunting, and then I get out there and I just stay in the hotel room.
Yeah, you don't hunt.
And I don't go hunting. And then I'm like, man, this sucks. I'm not killing anything.
Right? My freezer's not full.
Yeah. I get home, how'd it go? Empty freezer. I ain't getting nothing.
And never left the hotel room.
These elk are against me. They don't want me to eat.
Oh man. We're joking about it, you guys, but man, help us out.
That's all we could do is joke.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the only other choice is to cry or be angry.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's no sense in being angry.
There's no crying here today.
No crying and trucking.
Nope. All right. Super Dave, this next one is yours.
Yes, it is. So we've had a rash 2 in the last 2 days, but even still, it happens more regularly than it should. But people have been letting the hoods fall when they've been opening the hoods, and the hoods are really heavy on these Kenworths, and those little air shocks on the insides of the hoods are breaking their mount off. So it's something that even if you're opening it from the wheel well from the side, you have to hold on to that hood and slowly guide it to the end of its stroke. If you just let that hood fall, it will break, and it's quite a fix. They have to remove the hood. They have to redo the material. I'm going to call it fiberglass, although it's not. It's some other kind of
Maton, Dave.
Maton.
I happen to remember it because it's a weird name.
It is
Maton.
Yeah. And they have to reinforce it. It's a big deal. It's not like the old days when there was a spring and a cable. Of course, they would break too.
You snap that cable off if you drop that hood.
Right,
Dave.
right.
None of these guys would be doing this if they had the old hoods.
Right.
Because you had to wait till it hit the wires, or you snapped the wires and broke all sorts of shit.
Yeah. And the idea was this spring would slow it down, but if those air shocks break off of the hood itself, that hood's going to hit the ground.
Yeah. And sorry, Dave, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
The only reason they're broke is because somebody's dropping the hood.
Yeah.
You're getting to a certain point and letting go of the hood.
Yeah.
Let the hood all the way down gently till it stops.
Yeah.
I mean, You're just tearing the stuff up.
Yeah.
You
And
gotta-
I know they're heavy.
Yeah.
A lot of times they kind of stick in their rests. So start by lifting it out of the rests from the side,
Mm-hmm.
but then just stop right
Mhm.
there and walk to the front
Mm-hmm.
and then pull it open. Then it opens easily from that point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And put your foot up on the bumper where the little footrest is there,
Yep.
Yep.
And I am not trying to I don't care if you take it this way. If you're one of the young women that we have working for us and you're not strong enough to lift the hood, ask for some help.
Yeah.
I would love to be a gentleman and help you open that hood. I don't care what,
Everybody.
and I know how hard, the women work, great drivers and the whole bit, but if you don't have enough strength or you're not
Height.
not
Yeah,
tall
yep.
enough, right, Dave? Ask for some help. Ask, the safety guys are usually out here. Another driver's usually out here.
Mhm.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Ask for some help.
Yeah.
I'll run out and help.
Sometimes if the truck is kind of in a hole or something,
It does
you
twist.
need two
Yeah,
people
yeah.
from both sides to pull it up.
Yep.
I don't know a driver in this fleet that would not be happy to help somebody open their hood if they didn't have the strength.
Exactly.
There would be more volunteers every morning to help you open your hood
Yep.
than you need.
Yep. So don't kick a pride thing. Don't let your
Yeah.
pride get in the way. I got to have a man help me. No, let us help,
Or get one of the other girls to help
Yeah,
you.
two of you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, let's not, Dave's point is we can't afford to
Right.
crash the hoods,
Right.
and we're dropping them and they're getting cracked and then they break.
Right.
That's what we're trying to stop. Absolutely.
All right. Next on the list is BD's B to the D. What's
So-
coming up?
I'll take this because Dave's not here.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. No, I'll
Okay,
take it just because I was standing there yesterday when we had some great drivers come up yesterday, very concerned about what they'd witnessed. And I did ask, have you witnessed this? And the two drivers said, yep, we've witnessed that. And, we didn't ask for truck numbers. We didn't ask for anything. And we're just like, man, we can't, I don't know, greedy gravel hauler or whatever. But they told us, and there's to get into the Nix pit, you can't, you have to be going, how is it? You have to be going east on 66 to turn in there. There is no left-hand turn lane going west. You can't get into the Nix pit. So, you're having to go around, having to go over to 25, having to come in a different direction. But they told us we have drivers going past the entrance, westbound, turning into Raptor's pit, U-turning in the driveway, and coming back out eastbound to go into Nix.
Wow.
You're crossing, you guys all know that 65 mile an hour traffic on 66. If somebody's not going 70 or 75, right? I don't care that you're empty. Years ago, we made it a rule when we were hauling out a Raptor, and we still may haul out a Raptor down to the asphalt plant. We didn't want a left-hand turn. It's a safety thing, you guys. It is all about safety and the culture of the way people drive today.
Mm-hmm.
And the speeds and people on their cell phones. And now we're going to save, because the one driver, he joked with us, is like, well, let me know if that's okay, because that'll save me 10 minutes. I'm like, no, it's not okay. And it's a joke. We were laughing. But you guys, you can't be westbound, make a left-hand turn into Raptor. You're gonna
Piss them off.
piss them off, do your U-turn, and come back to Nix so you can make the right-hand turn. Please don't do that. Cut across on, and I would have to look at the streets. I think you can cut across on 66 and come up 17, or you can get around it where you're going eastbound on 66. I guess you can't use 66, maybe Highway 52, one of those. But look at your route. Let's come up with a safe route, or get over to 25. I know it's going to take a few more minutes, but it's the what if of a crash, you guys. And the permitting doesn't allow a left-hand turn into Nix, right? So now you're going to take and go, okay, screw you permitting. I'm going to go down and do it's basically a crazy ass U-turn.
Right.
And come back to get into next. Please, you guys, we can't do that. And what it reminded me of, and we fired a driver over it, and I'm, let him find success elsewhere, is we were doing the chip seal last year, remember, down in Colorado Springs?
Yep.
And we had 2 drivers that didn't want to go back to, I don't know, Colorado City or however it worked. We U-turned over the island, ran over the safety markers, the safety posts, just so we could save 10 minutes and go the other direction.
Yeah.
That's not a professional driver.
Here's the thing. People's lives are on the line.
Absolutely.
Doing that, and that's what it boils down to. I don't know if and these little, we posted the video yesterday of the accident where the tandem went when he shut in and the skid steer took down the telephone pole. Those backcountry little county roads, there's a lot of death that happens on those roads.
Yeah, they're dangerous.
We had, 2 years ago? Was it a Fiore truck, I think, was making a right-hand turn into...
Low boy swung out.
And a motorcycle went under the low boy. You know how low a low boy is. There's a person and a motorcycle under there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, somebody's life is on the line when you do things like that, and that's the bottom line. That's why we call it safety, but it's because there's life on the line. And that's the worst case scenario, to get a call from a driver that's going to be hysterical because he made a U-turn to save 10 minutes and a family went underneath his trailer and they're all dead. Like, not good. And that's what's on the line.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well put, Jim.
All right.
Yeah. What more do we say about that? Just, and thank you for the 2 guys, 2 drivers that grabbed me and Dave yesterday. It was so fun just joking about it. And, we said, and I joked with one of them, or Dave did, oh, what was your name again? So we could make sure we announced it on the deal. And that's not trying to, I bet, in fact, these 2 guys wouldn't even matter if we mentioned their names. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're good guys, and they just were concerned about safety, about hurting somebody, because they got those years and the common sense in their back pocket of, we can't do this.
Yeah. This is this is what I feel like my job is, and it is. It's like dealing with all the things. You guys have no idea the amount of things that happen in one day at JFW. From this guy's got diarrhea, to this guy made an illegal U-turn, to this guy's waiting on the highway he shouldn't be, to, more personal things, to just the craziness. It's just unbelievable.
And we, and us, Jam, and you guys, and we've round tabled 13 people, and you just imagine eliminating those 3 things you mentioned in a day.
That was just today.
Right? But imagine that not just being an issue, Jim.
Then all we'd have is crazy owners driving forklifts down the road.
Man, they had the coolest red and blue lights, I'm telling you. We was a po-po in the forklift.
You ought to see this. One car flew by us, those maniacs.
Oh, yeah. Love it. Love this place.
I love working here. All right. We good on that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Let's go on.
Let's keep moving. Safety topic of the week. You guys all saw, we posted that video of our truck was heading back to, where was he going? I said it yesterday. I think it was going back to Ragsdale or Fort Left. I can't remember. But he was waiting to make a left-hand turn. There was oncoming traffic, a pickup truck hauling a skid steer on a trailer, and a tandem comes from the right. He probably thought it was a 4-way stop or something. He got confused, wasn't paying attention, went. Pickup truck slammed on its brake, got sideways. The trailer came sideways, took out a telephone pole, knocked the telephone pole down, and one of the wires got hung up on our stack. Okay.
One of the craziest videos I think I've seen, Dave. Dave,
I know,
Jam.
I know you know who I am.
When me and Dave were looking at it, Jam, and because it was Georgi.
Yeah, Giga.
Gil.
For just sitting there and doing nothing.
Right.
He was, and I know you sent out the video, but if you take some time and watch the video, because he knows he sees the
he tries
pickup.
to prevent it.
Yeah, he's on the horn, which not going to do anything because nobody that's not. But he had all that vision,
concern
watching that, and then sit there, and then that telephone pole, man, it bounces and bounces. And it's a huge telephone pole, right, you guys?
Power pole.
Power pole. And I'm just like, oh, what would I have done?
Yeah.
You know, in that, and he just sits there pretty calm. You know?
Well,
pretty calm.
Giga, I love you, but watching the inward-facing camera, just the inward-facing camera, it's not funny, but it's pretty funny because you see the concern on the look. He honks the horn. He's at a dead stop. He sees the accident. He's trying to get out of the way at 0 miles an hour. He's trying to steer the truck out of the way because your body just takes over, right? Like, I'm not making fun of him. It's just, what do you do? And then that's finally over. And then all of a sudden the the power pole's falling down, and it's like shocking, right? It's just the whole thing. If you just watch the inward facing camera, it's just to show you the amount of concern and stress. And it is a little comical because nobody got hurt.
And
right,
and we didn't, the truck didn't get, because the other thing is we watched it yesterday again, me and Dave, after you sent it out. And how many of you noticed the skid steer bucket that was chained down?
Oh yeah,
it's like a projectile across, separate of the whole incident.
Yeah, imagine if that whole trailer and skid steer and everything hit the front of the truck.
The front of us.
Yeah. Imagine if there was a Toyota Prius there.
Yeah.
Or,
oh my God.
Or somebody on a motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
Or somebody going for a run, or somebody riding a bicycle, right? There's a million things, a million what ifs, right? That accident, I mean, it was what do we call those? What was that movie? Faces of Death moment?
Fatal.
Fatal.
Yeah, fatal something. Isn't it, Jan? Isn't that the word?
Yeah, I can't think. It was one of those moments.
Yes.
Where your life is flashing before your eyes. Then nothing happens, so it's a little comical. But the reason that this is a safety topic of the week is our driver did something very dangerous he just wasn't aware of. Or maybe he was, or with the adrenaline, or maybe somebody told him.
You're pumped up.
Yeah. If you have a power line touching your truck, the last thing you want to do is get out of the truck. Unless there's some other life-threatening things going on, okay? If you're not bleeding to death, the truck's not on fire, somebody else isn't in like dire emergency need outside of the truck, the safest place for you to be is inside that grounded vehicle. When you get out of that truck, if you're touching the truck and you touch the ground at the same time, you're going to have a big problem. Like, that might be the last thing you do ever in life. Luckily, the truck wasn't charged, or the way you got out of the truck. I mean, the power, they wouldn't let anybody near the truck till the power company came out and turned the power off. It's a very dangerous situation. I'm not an expert in this area. I'd imagine if you have to get out of the truck, it's on fire, you're bleeding to death, you probably need to jump very far away as you can from that truck. You don't want to come into contact, or you don't want it to arc. You may not even touch the ground yet, and it could arc and blow your foot off or electrocute you and just end your life right there. So luckily, I know we're laughing, and it is a little comical because nothing happened, but there was a lot of tragedy averted that day. So
there was life on the line through the whole thing.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Does anybody want to read the tips and tricks? Otherwise, I'll do it.
I can do it, Jim.
I feel like I've been talking a lot.
Yeah. No, I can do it.
Give me a little glass of water.
Tips and tricks with Armando, the Sergeant Duvall. Tips and tricks. Number 49, the blind spot. So we got, what is that, like 50, 51, 52? A whole year, 52 weeks. He says, good morning, JFW family, and welcome back to another week of tips and tricks. Please remember the purpose of these tips and tricks are just ways for us to be helpful, better, and safer drivers on the road. Let's be JFW professionals. Always get out and look before backing. If you're not 100% sure, there's no object behind you. When we're backing up with these trailers, know that they're made out of aluminum, and they can easily be damaged when hitting a barrier vehicle or object, sorry. And, got to throw my comment in there. Yeah, they don't hold up to a concrete bin. They're not as tough as that concrete. We also got to remember to pull up when we can't see our blind side when we're backing into any of the bins. Plant 2, 12, and 13 bins are big enough for only one truck to dump. Even though these bins are pretty wide, we still have drivers hit them. We got to take our time when backing, and when you feel like you're getting close to any of the bins or piles, let's just let the truck free roll back. There's no need to step on the accelerator when you're close to the bins or piles. God forbid we do hit something, let's try to minimize the damage. Also, whenever making a wide turn, let's always watch our trailers and make sure we clear our path. By not looking at our mirrors, we're turning blind. We had countless drivers damage their trailers by not looking at their mirrors. And, sorry, I got to throw that comment in there too there. You guys don't have sleepers on? Crack a look out that back window right quick. It's a clear view on where that trailer's going on that blind side, you guys. I can tell you a story that when I was sweeping out at the South plant at the end of the day, there was a driver that was pulling up next to me, and he didn't look at his mirrors, and his driver's side trailer ended up making contact with my passenger side tailgate latch. He barely hit it at 3 to 5 miles an hour and actually did damage to where I couldn't close my tailgate. When making a right turn button hook, make sure you take it as wide as you can. Make sure there's no vehicle in front of you after turning right. If you see that there's a vehicle already in the lane, you need to turn on. It's best to wait until the vehicle moves. Don't just start turning and thinking that the vehicle is going to start to back up for you. Just like last week when one of our own started backing up and ended up hitting a car. Let's not cause an accident just because we're in a hurry. Hey, and that's a great point here. I don't know. I'm sure you guys addressed it last week. Don't back up if you can't see. If you're in traffic or anywhere, nobody's expecting you to back up. Please don't back up the truck. Can't do it out on the road, you guys. It's just too dangerous. So when you're making that right turn, either look at your hood mirror or spot mirror and make sure you clear that turn. Don't look back at your window because now your front is blind. So he's got a great point. I just said, crack a look out that back window. I guess when I'm on a job site or stuff, I like to look, out that back window, but I've looked, your head's on a swivel. I've looked out that front window.
Sure.
Now the jug handle. This one I really don't like, but if you have to make this move, I want to make sure I'm clear in all directions. So again, make sure no vehicle is in the lane you need to be in when making a turn. If so, please wait and be patient. So with this, you'll have to steer either to the left lane or right lane before making your turn. This is why I say you want to make sure you're clear in all directions. Vehicles and bikers will try to hop on the lane that you just left from and try to pass you. So we don't condone the jug handle.
Actually, that's the button hook.
That's the button hook? Okay.
He's talking about the button hook. The jug handle is you drive straight and you make your turn into the far lane.
And expect that car to move if there's one there.
Or, you would be in oncoming traffic in that lane. Obviously, it has to be clear. Yep. So, like, if you're coming eastbound, or, if you're headed eastbound on 56, making a right onto Newport, you don't want to swing into that left lane. That's a button hook. You want to stay straight and then make a right onto Newport. You're going to be in the oncoming traffic lane to be able to clear your trailer.
Absolutely, because as far as I know, that is illegal for us to do. We'll get the ticket.
Yeah,
if somebody gets in beside you.
Yeah, sorry to correct you, Armando.
Hit them. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry to correct you, Armando. You are talking about a button hook, and the button hook's illegal.
Right. So. Right. Yes.
Yeah. If you surrender your lane, in other words, you get out of the lane, and that car happens to be there because he scooted in there, he owns the lane at that point. You've surrendered it, and if you hit him, it's though he took your little right of way away, then it's your ticket.
And I know we're going off in the weeds here, but a proper button hook, you do it where your trailer still blocks that right lane. Your trailer actually never should leave that lane. Like you swing out at the last minute or the last split second, I should say, where your trailer is still going to block that right lane is a proper way to do an illegal button hook.
Yeah. You guys are both right. Cause like you're saying, I mean, like Super Dave. So you surrendered it, but that's what Jam's saying is not surrender it. You block that off.
And it's probably kind of hard with our shorter trailers. With a 53, you could do a button hook and never give up that right.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I may be talking a little sideways because of our short trailers, but
honestly, I don't know if it's legal to do this or not, but I like to straddle the lane. So I'm not letting anybody in on the right-hand side, and I'm kind of blocking the left-hand side and then make my turn.
Yep. Yeah. Cause it is hard to get people to back up, and then I've had them, I'm pretty sure I've had them where they backed into the person behind them.
I've had that too.
Yeah. And that sucks. So they don't know that we're making a jug handle turn. We got to take it slow and stop immediately. When we see someone approaching from the lane we moved away from, a lot of vehicles and bikers have crashed from this technique. So that's the reason we don't condone that.
Yeah.
We're surrendering that lane.
Yeah.
Lastly, our seating position. I'm going to steal a famous saying from the previous tips and tricks driver, Ray, the black sheep. Look and lean. Sit in your stool. Don't be a fool. If you're one who sits low, please get up and look before merging lanes. If you're sitting low and you could barely see your hood mirror, you're driving blind. Great sentence.
Yep.
Please let me know on Connect Team what you think about this week's tips and tricks. And thank you all again for listening and for the positive feedbacks. Let's start doing things the JFW way. Until next week, Armando, the Sergeant Duvall, 0073. Together we can be better, and safety has no blind spots.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thanks, Armando, for doing that, man. And
Good job,
even if you got it a little backwards and we're talking through it, that's the point. That's what you do in a safety meeting.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We get things straight, and you've stepped up and have done all these weeks. Much appreciated.
Yeah. Great job, Armando.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Ray lives in the tips and tricks still, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in Sin City.
Right. 0013.
the black sheep.
You guys, I don't know. I won't. Maybe I shouldn't say that. We're talking about numbering the doors at the new shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yes. I was wondering that. Dave and I were out there the other afternoon. He was showing me the fuel island and everything. They were working on the wall. And
12, 14, 15.
So they got a number of those doors. We pull it up to door number 5.
Right, we do, but no door 13.
You're going to skip 13.
Absolutely. Ray's going to be mad. Going to go, I wanted to pull in bay 13.
That's funny.
Well, that's going to be a wash bay, right?
Yes. No,
that'll be the first
trailer bay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice. Soup, you want to hit us with them high road hauling?
I can do that, Jam. I have a high road hauling, and I think everybody has probably thought about this before. Anybody that's been in a tight situation, it's something that it's hard to practice, and it's more of a reaction, but calmness is your superpower, everybody.
It's my weakness.
This is just an excerpt from the story that I kind of stole this out of, but it's about I'm guessing an emergency room. But a few years ago, during a hectic morning medical ward round, the day began with a subtle tension in the air. It wasn't immediately obvious, but it all started small. An anxious glance from a junior doctor, a sharp tone in a response, the clipped ring of a phone interrupting the flow of conversation, and then it grew from there. A patient, understandably nervous, asked a difficult question about their treatment. The doctor's reply was rushed and tense, carried that stress forward. Voices began to rise, overlapping in frustration. The team, feeling the weight of the competing priorities, started speaking over one another. The room began a feedback loop of stress. an invisible current pulling everybody into the chaos. I could feel it too. My chest tightened as the urge to act surged within me. I wanted to cut through the noise and restore order and assert authority, but something in me paused. Let's hold that thought for a moment, I said calmly but firmly. Holding the room with the love in my heart, the conversations faltered and heads turned. And then, speaking, I softened my tone. The shift was almost palpable. The rising voices settled, the frantic energy dissipated, and the clarity began to return. One by one, the team re-centered, working through the plan with renewed focus, and the patient watching us seemed to relax as well. Nothing new to my mind, but new to my conscious heart. Something had deepened in my awareness. I understood how stress can spread like wildfire, but calm can be just as contagious. This is worth exploring. Modern life places enormous pressure on our nervous system. Emails arrive faster than we can answer them. News alerts demand attention. Social media amplify urging and outrage. Many people move through their days in a near constant state of stimulation. In such an environment, emotional reactivity can become the norm. We interrupt ourselves before someone finishes speaking. We respond before fully understanding a situation. We escalate conversations that might have resolved themselves within a moment of patience. From a biological perspective, this makes sense. When the brain perceives stress or threat, the amygdala, I knew I was going to screw that up.
Amygdala?
Amygdala.
Amygdala.
Thank you, Jim. I knew I practiced that word too, reading this, and I was like, man,
I think David Jamley will get right.
Right? That is the brain's alarm system is activated. The body shifts into survival mode. Heart rates rise. Breathing becomes shallow and faster. The attention narrows. While useful in genuine emergencies, this state is far less helpful in everyday interactions. When the nervous system stays chronically activated, we become more reactive and less analytical and logical. Calm is often misunderstood as a personality trait. Some people appear naturally composed, while others believe they're simply not wired that way. Well, in reality, calm and the sense of ease that it can accompany it is largely physiological. When the nervous system is regulated, the body naturally shifts towards an autonomic or involuntary state. Breathing becomes more harmonious, the heart rhythm is more coherent, and the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for reasoning and perspective, becomes more active. This shift allows us to think more clearly, we listen more carefully, we interpret situations with more ease, and all this makes wise decision-making possible. One of the most fascinating aspects of emotional regulation is that it rarely remains confined to the individual. Human nervous systems constantly communicate through subtle signs, such as tone of voice, facial expression, posture, and breathing. We have all experienced the negative version of it. One anxious or agitated person can quickly raise the stress level of an entire group. The opposite is also true. When someone enters a room grounded and composed, others often begin to relax, even if they can't explain why. Remaining calm does not mean avoiding difficult conversations or suppressing emotion. In fact, calm often allows more effective action. Remaining calm in a calm environment is easy. The real challenge arises when circumstances become difficult, when someone criticizes us, when expectations increase, or when uncertainty threatens our sense of control. In those moments, calm becomes less about personality and more about practice. Small habits can strengthen the nervous system's ability to return to balance after stress, such as pausing before responding, taking a slow breath when tensions rise, noticing how the body reacts under pressure, allowing brief moments of silence before speaking. Over time, these practices help the nervous system move more fluidly between stress and recovery. In a culture that often rewards speed, urgency, and noise, calm can appear understated, yet its effects are profound. Calm creates space for clearer thinking, it supports more compassionate interactions, and it stabilizes groups during moments of uncertainty and stress. So all wise words right there. Let's try to stay calm when we need to be calm in the face of adversity. The quote this week, I really like this quote. It comes from a pretty cool dude. I have always been very calm on the outside. I'm not too stressed now just because I'm in Formula One. For me, tomorrow will be another day when whether I finish first or last. I have to do the maximum, and I cannot ask any more of myself. That was spoken by Fernando Alonso. He happens to be a Formula One driver who is a Spanish driver. He has won 32 Grand Prix in 23 seasons. He won the FIA World Endurance Championship in 2018-19. He has won the 24 Hours of Le Mans, 24 Hours of Daytona, and 2 Formula One World Championship titles. So he's a dude.
That's a lot. That's a driver right there.
Yeah. But try to stay calm, everybody.
Like it. All right.
That's hard. That's hard. We've all talked about that. Whether, I don't know if you call it calmness, but to control that emotion to a place back of calm.
Yeah. Yeah. It is practice. You have to teach yourself what's the right reaction. In, you initially react with anger or something like that. And you have to like teach yourself to react with maybe a decision or a second thought to say, okay, this isn't as bad as it looks, or.
Yeah. I turn to prayer. I got to pray through a lot of things to calm me down, and that seems to work for me.
Yeah. As much as we've talked about it over the years, like doing that, Jam, but it's because I struggle with it. I've told you guys all
Me
stuff
too.
with it, all that stuff. But when you learn to back up, you have this opportunity to practice backing up, right? I want to learn to swing my golf club better. I swing my club all the time, right?
Right.
But how do you really truly practice coming to a place of calm? Because you need somebody pissing you off all the time to practice the calm.
Right.
So
get a job at JFW.
Right. How many prayers would you have to do? Or whether it's scaring you, how do I become calm in a scary situation? You got to be being scared all the time, because I guess we don't have an opportunity to practice it except in the moment.
I stay in prayer a lot.
Right, Jim? You have to have that switch with, okay, this is what everybody's talking about. I have to do this. But you don't have, to me, you don't have a chance to practice.
Once you back off, whether it be through prayer or whatever it is, count to 10, however you back off from the situation, and you get to analyze, like, why is it upsetting you? Or why is it making you uncalm? Then you can really kind of dig into what's really, because it may just be bugging you because of one of your personal defects, which is me a lot of times. Like, oh, this is bugging me because it didn't go the way I wanted it to. Well, guess what? It doesn't have to go my way.
I mean, that's why it's a superpower. If you can control that, man,
was that the name of it? Calm is the superpower.
That's what I named it.
Calmness or calm?
Calmness.
Yeah, that's what.
Calmness is a superpower.
I like it.
And the little article I read, it was written by a doctor, and I think that really happened in that emergency room. I really do.
I bet it did.
Yeah, it really explained it well.
Yeah, you have to stay calm, and I did learn that in the Coast Guard. Like, there was like drills you had to do in a certain, like, you had to put on all your safety gear and flotation devices in 90 seconds or I forget what it was. But if you weren't calm doing it, you were gonna miss it by rushing. Where you could just be calm, move quickly, but be calm and have your wits about you and get it done and get through it.
Yeah, and again, Jam, that's what I feel like I'm talking about. You learn to stay calm, but you practice that drill, but you had a chance to practice it,
right?
And hopefully that helped you be calm.
Yeah, another good example is traffic accidents. If you've never been in a traffic accident, when you call here, you are not calm, and we got to calm you down. If you've been in a few accidents and you look around and you realize, you know what, this is terrible, but nobody got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole different story.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And what you were talking about a little bit earlier, Jem, where you know, and maybe it's age with all of us, when we do recognize that and you can take a second and go, why is that doing that to me? That's almost more of a victory for me, a personal victory.
Right.
Because I'm like, wow, I've recognized that. I didn't get upset. I was able to do something about it. Pat on the back really makes you feel, to me, it makes me feel better.
Right.
Than reacting.
And we're talking about emotional calmness, but also like in a stressful situation, like a first responder, you go through stress inoculation, you know, kind of like what you're talking about. You've been in so many stressful situations. You just know how to stay calm now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. An emergency room, doc. I bet, you know, because I don't know if you've been watching it, Jim, but called The Pit. You know, we've been watching that on HBO, you know, and man, the stuff they go through, you know, and they do bring a couple of brand new people in, and they quit at the end of the day, or they're like, oh, maybe this wasn't so bad, or, you know, they see the heroes. But how long does it, you know, like your story, Dave, how long does it take you to get there in this? And it's probably your personality too. Maybe because one of the doctors in the show, he served. And this is nothing for him. Right. You know, what
he's been shot at.
Yeah, what he's been through, you know, yeah.
Yeah, doing ride-alongs, you know, on some ambulances and fire trucks and stuff, like, you know, I mean, or if you've ever been on a scene of an accident when emergency shows up, they're not panicking. They're pretty calm, you know, ready to get the job done.
Yep.
So. All right. Well, that's my final thought. Any other final thoughts from you guys?
I think I'll have to jump in there. I mean, I think I just had one. Yeah, this was it. I like it, Dave.
Super Dave's High Road Hall was our final
good job.
Thought.
To stay calm and you know, in those situations, I think that's all a triumph for us.
Yep.
And no matter what the calmness is from to the calmness, I think is the important part, whether it's anger or jealousy or being scared or
a lot of things,
all that. If you can come back to that place of calmness, that's important.
Yep.
You know.
All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Channel 23 podcast. Smash that follow button. Tell all your friends about us. And let's say the creed and get on out.
Right on.
Together we face and overcome all that stands before us. Together we are accident free. Together we joyfully create honest value for those we serve. Together we celebrate our differences and respect those with whom we work. Together we are accountable for our words and our actions. Together we are the JW family. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Catch you next week.
Be safe, everybody.
I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We work for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, cause we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. There's a couple million tons to move. I see them everywhere. So you best get out their way and watch that sand and gravel disappear. There's another run to make. We gotta get it there on time. And we got what it takes to lay it all out on the line. We'll lay it all out on the line. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks got the best drivers in town. They got all the tools they need to keep that hammer down. When they hit them scales, they won't need to dodge them, won't need to duck them. They just keep that hammer down, and they keep that diesel trucking. Keep that hammer down, and keep that diesel trucking. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. They just keep them doors a-closed, keep them butts in their seats, 'cause those customers are calling, and those red trucks can't be beat. They gotta put the hammer down and pick up another load. Get it off the ground, keep them eyes open and on the road. Keep them eyes open on the road. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Breaker 23, anybody got a copy on that Channel 23 podcast? Welcome, and thanks for listening.